I'm excited to be with you on today. This is an exciting time today. We are coming in a space where we are understanding this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to be in this space. We are here every morning, Tuesday morning. We come together and we do a call with each other and we say, hey, good morning. Let's speak with power. Let's move with power. Let's be with power as we're moving through the day. I'm Dr. Cheryl Clarke, and if this is your first time here, welcome. So happy that you can see that you're taking this moment for yourself. You're taking this moment for yourself to say, you know what, I matter. I'm taking this moment for myself to say, you know what? This is going to be my time. I'm showing up for me this morning. I'm showing up for me this morning, and I'm excited about it. And this is what I'm going to do. So, as we move through this area, as we move through our space today, I want you to recognize that you have the power. You have the power to be exactly who you desire to be. You have the exact power to do what you need to be. And this is no longer that you're going to take, you don't have to feel like you have to take up space. You're going to own that space. You're going to speak with your power. You're going to be with your power. So let's move into our Speak Your Power Now declaration. As if you have the book, go ahead and join with me. And it's right in the very, very beginning of the book. And I want you to take a nice, long, salty breath in through the nostrils. And exhale it out. Take a nice, long, salty breath in through the nostrils once again. And exhale it out. Repeat silently to yourself after me. Today I reclaim my power of purpose. Today I declare that I have unshakable faith and confidence in my uniqueness. Today I declare that I will not live in fear, but with power, love, and a sound mind. Today I declare that I always communicate with words to empower myself and others. Today I declare to always honor myself by living in the present and living powerfully in each moment. Amen and Ashe. All right. So like I said, I'm Dr. Cheryl Clarke, and just a little disclaimer, this is educational content. This is not therapy. This is just a wake-up call this morning to say you have power. And I always put a space where I get what am I going to talk about this morning? And this morning, I said, I'm going to talk about power. Power is not given, it's taken. Yes, power is not given. I want you to write that down. Write that down right where you are. That power is not given, but is taken. Now, what do you mean by that, Dr. Cheryl? I mean exactly what it means. The truth is, at times, we may not have known that we even have the power. The truth is that nobody wants to admit that power is rarely ever handed to you. So you got to take it. So I want to talk about, because this is a black and brown space that I cultivated here. And I want to talk about Fannie Lou Hamer. Now, we may have heard of her back in the 60s. She was a woman that had to take her power. Let me give you I love the story of Fannie Lou Hamer. She's a black woman. She was a sharecropper, and someone told her that she had no business walking up to that microphone. Somebody told her that nobody invited her to speak. And she wasn't just going to get this platform, she took the platform. Because in 1964, she walked into that Democratic National Convention and said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that is what you got to realize. Sometimes you better be sick and tired of being sick and tired. Fannie Lou Hamer did not wait for permission. She took the mic. She took her space. She took her voice back. She claimed her voice in a space where it seems like it was not popular to do. That was back in the day when there was so much discrimination against Black people, against women, and we were fighting for our rights. And the Black and brown women at those times was told to keep working hard. They'll notice you. Be patient, it'll come your turn. But wait, no, you don't have to do that. I want you to know that in this moment when she took the mic, her voice was powerful. It was undeniable. But there was something that Lyndon B. Johnson did. He called an emergency press conference to cut her off at that national broadcast. Yes, he did. Because her truth was threatening the entire power of the structure. Now, I want you to hear this. What Fannie Lou Hamer did was she understood that I want you to understand, my brown and Black women, that nobody is going to give you permission to speak. No one is going to give you the permission and tap you on the shoulder and say, it's your turn. She said, wait a minute, I'm going to take my turn. She had to build up the power and show up. She had to build up and take her seat that she refused to give it back. So every major shift in your life, whether it's voting, whether it's speaking, whether it's at work, whether it's whatever it is, people, us, we can't wait to take your power. You create the seat in those meetings. You create the moments. Stop waiting to get noticed or to get qualified. You are waiting for the permission to lead. Most of us are leading our families right now. But when we get into the world, we shrink. Wait a minute. Why are we shrinking? You're not less qualified than anyone else. You lean into it. Like Fannie Lou Hamer said, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And today, at the core of what I want to talk about today is that I want you to know that power doesn't go to people that deserve it. It goes to people that claim it. And sometimes it's going to feel uncomfortable. Sometimes you're going to have to not follow the rules that they gave you. Sometimes, historically speaking, like Fannie Lou Hamer, she didn't ask for permission. Like Rosa Parks, she didn't ask for permission. Like Shirley Chisholm, she didn't ask for permission to pull up that seat at that table. See, when we're moving through, the reality is that most of us, they don't feel as qualified. So most of us may look invisible. Most of us may be doing the best work that we possibly can. And I want you to know that as you begin to say your voice, move with your voice, you could begin to gain traction and influence. As you begin to reward yourself with the courage to say, I'm going to be visible, I'm going to be consistent with whatever I have. That's power. See, research shows that people that wait for position advance 40% slower than people that take initiative without asking. That data right there shows you there's a pattern that maybe times that you have had a great idea, but you waited for someone else to ask you. How many times in meetings have you sat there through them speaking because you felt as though you were not good enough? You felt as though you needed to permission. See, here, when I talk about psychology, your brain equates visibility with risk. And we don't like risk. Our brain doesn't like risk. Our brain wants to keep us safe. That's why your hand starts to sweat, your heart starts to palpitate. That's why we hesitate before we do that post on social media. Why you keep replaying it over and over and over and over, because it's your nervous system remembering to generations of silencing our community, the generations that show when we do speak up, what happens that's encoded in our DNA. But I want you to remember your brain is like plastic, it's not fixed. So you can begin to rewire your brain to know that you can show up, show your power. Every time you speak, if you normally stay quiet, every time you walk into that room, know that you belong there. Teach yourself to bring that your brain and let your brain know that you have safety there. Know that you can begin to move. And whatever you got to do, if you got to ground yourself in the Speak Your Power Now declaration, if you got to ground yourself in a prayer, if you got to ground yourself in a declaration, whatever you got to do to shift from being in survival mode and be able to be in action mode. And as you begin to do this, repeat it, repeating it, repeating it. You're going to take power. You're going to take your power back. And there's some strategies. This is just three, there's two. I'm going to give you 3 steps that you can do right away. The first step I want you to do in strategy of taking your power back is identify what is your power gap. What is that gap? Where is that vacuum? What needs to be said that nobody is saying? What needs to be led that no one is leading? Identify that. What are you waiting for in the room? Where have you been silent at? Maybe it's your work, your church, your home, your family, your community. Pick one. Like what Fannie Lou Hamer did. Nobody was challenging all of white Mississippi Declaration. Nobody was challenging that. She stepped in that gap. See, that project maybe is waiting for you. Second step, I want you to act like you already have the authority. That means claim the space. Don't ask, claim the space, lead from that space. I'm going to organize this. This is what Speak Your Power Now is all about. Nobody told me about this. If you've been quiet at meetings, I want you to look at this. See, psychology even says that people that assume authority, they look like they are confident and they create permission to sit at that table. Even if you haven't had an invitation, create your own event, create your own table. Like I have the Speak Your Power Now events that I have. I have the power of her voice that I'm going to have. The third thing I want you to do is anchor your voice. I want you to be clear when you speak, direct and unapologetic. And this is how you hold the power. See, when Fannie Lou Hamer took that mic, she wasn't polite. She wasn't comfortable. She was powerful. And she said, "Is this America? The land of the free? The home of the brave? Where we have to sleep with our telephones off the hook because our lives are being threatened daily?" This is what she said. See, that's not asking permission. That's taking the mic and making sure that people are listening. Your power is language. Your power is your communication. See, I'm asking you, instead of saying, "I think maybe you could consider," how about you say this? "We need to change this. Here's what we're going to do. Let me build on that point that you said." See, this is where you could begin to take the power and anchor your voice, because your power is a muscle. Your voice is a muscle. And you know what? I'm not going to say that it will not come with resistance. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that, because you may be met with resistance. But you're going to speak anyway. When you take your power, when you know something, when you have a feeling, when you know that this is where you're going to stop asking for permission. And I'm not saying to be aggressive. I'm saying to be assertive. I'm saying to take the space. And I'm saying that this is where you can begin to claim your power. It may be costing your career. It may be costing you financial gain because you're not speaking up, or not understanding how to negotiate. It may be internalizing that powerless inside of you. So today, I want you to take your power. I want you to hold on to your power. And I want you to step into your power today. Go ahead and pull on our ancestors of the Fannie Lou Hamer. Or you can get somebody else, Rosa Parks. You can get Harriet Tubman. You get your mother, whoever it is. I want you to interrupt history. Every time a brown and a black woman rises up and take their space, she's carrying the torch forward. So today, we want to take the space. We want you to take your place in the conversation. We want you to take your voice out the shadows. We want you to take your seat at the table. And there is no better seat that I can find that when a woman, a black woman, is walking in her power, speaking in her power, living out her power. Because, girl, you cute. No waiting in the cute corner. That's not it. That's not cute. Not waiting in the maybe corner. That's not cute. The power is claiming the room, shifting the atmosphere for legacy. That's cute. And this is your time to walk in and be and stand in your power. I want to thank you so much for joining me on today. I'm going to open up. If you have any questions or comments right now, this is where it is that you can ask to be coached or whatever you desire to be. In this moment, I'm going to yield the floor to you all. Does anybody have any questions or comments at this time that they can be able to open up their mic? This is your time to take your power back and speak. How about that? How about that? If you can. All right. Well, I hope this was good. I hope that this was great. And for moving into your power today. This is an opportunity for you to realize that this is your time to show up in power. And just like Fannie Lou Hamer, just like our women of color that had to pull up, find that space, you are powerful just the way you are. Okay? Now, when we move into this space, don't shrink. Don't shrink. It is your time to stand and move in your power. I want to thank you so much for joining me on today. Peace and blessings to you all as you are moving into this. And this is where you can stand in your power today. Grab on to that ancestors, grab on to what they have done, pull up that seat to that table and move and go inside, because you know you belong there. Take your power back now, because girl, you're cute. Have a blessed one, have a great one, and see you next time.
You are enough. Your voice is divine.